All right. We're good to go.
Awesome. Well, it says my internet connection is a little unstable. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. It just flashed up as soon as you hit record, so I just wanted to make sure. So hello, everybody. We are going to do our team call tonight. And what we want to talk about tonight is our DMOs, and that stands for Daily Method of Operation. And these are just things that we do every single day, ideally, that bring us closer to our goals. And when I first started as a promoter almost about 2.5 years ago, we used this one right here. I still have my original one. It's in this, let me see if I can, so it's not shiny. So it's really simple. It's just 5 parts, and I like this one for when you're first starting. So if the one that I go over today seems too overwhelming, just let us know, and I can send this one out to you as well. It pretty much has everything that the other one does in more bullet points, but I really like the new one that we're using. I have always loved this part of Pruvit and network marketing. I've always had a really strong DMO. It's something I love to teach about, but I was really missing some key things until I started using this tracker. And I was always kind of like, I don't know, just picking and choosing what I like and not doing things completely consistently all the time. And once I just kind of surrendered to this process, I noticed a huge uptick in my business. I'll also say that just like the bubble charts, which is something that we went over last week in the other team call, this is something that you want to revamp and revisit often. Just like everything else in your current life and your business, things change. It's not 100% linear. So in my experience, this is something that can get a little flat or just like something else to do if you're not integrating like where you're at in your current business and where you're at in your life. So I don't like to just have it be something else for me to check off my list. And I actually get a little overwhelmed by how many boxes are on the new tracker. But if you think of it as more of a guide than a user manual, then that takes a lot of pressure off, because it's just, you want to just be consistently evolving this process. So I will go ahead and share my screen so you guys can check it out.
And I'm gonna not to interrupt you, but I think what's important too when you look at like a DMO or daily method of operation or like your daily checklist, it can feel super overwhelming. But to know that sometimes you can have like a bare bones DMO, like before my head hits the pillow, I am going to do 1, 2, 3, like 3 basic critical components of being a ketone dealer, right? That then those are the days that you don't want to do a single thing, but you do minimum of 3 things. And then every other day you can do all the things or some of the things. But like in looking all of this, thinking about like, and we can talk about like what those essentials would be, like drinking your ketone. Like you have to drink your ketones every day. And that's pretty simple. But I just wanted to add that too because when we do look at this one, it's like sometimes I get overwhelmed and it's like, okay, this is, and that one has like different levels too.
Yeah, exactly. Amber, it won't let me share the screen. It says host has disabled ability to share screen. If you can't figure it out, I can just show it. It's not a big deal.
I'm gonna make you host of the meeting.
Oh, yay. Okay, here we go.
That will impact our recording. You got it?
Yep.
Oh. Look at us all techy and stuff.
Yay. All right. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So this is actually kind of an older copy, but let me see if I can bring it down just so you can see the whole Okay, that's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the first part at the top, like from, you can see it from here up, so not the highlighted ones at the bottom. Those are going to be, so from like add up, above add and up, those are going to be like what we recommend for everybody to do across the board. This is for your own Pruvit journey. This is for your own personal development, and it will keep your momentum going. So the first thing is we say to drink 2 ketones per day. Now, this is always my goal 100% of the time. I'm not always able to get them in, but as long as I make that my goal, more often than not, I can hit that. The second thing is working out, so moving your body. Everybody is different with this. It can be anywhere from doing HIIT exercises. We can't really work out at gyms right now, but even just walking, stretching, any kind of moving your body, playing with your kids counts. You just want to move your body, and that will help the ketones work better. It will help the whole program work better. And it's just really, really good for your mental health as well. The third thing, oh, and the other thing I'll say about working out is that we have some really awesome groups where we have live like group workouts. So if that is some extra support that you guys are needing, or if you know somebody that needs that, just let us know and we can add them to those groups. Gratitude is so huge. It can be very, very simple. Again, just maybe writing down 3 things a day that you're grateful for in the very least. And our team has this really amazing workbook called the Unlimited Workbook. And it's kind of like a law of attraction manifestation workbook. And if you're interested in that, it's a daily practice. It can really, really expand things. I have completed that workbook like 5 or 6 times, and it changes every time, and it gets just more, it just blows my mind each time I do it. It starts with like manifesting really small things and just kind of playing with it, and you just become really tuned into synchronicities and all the things that you appreciate, the people, places, and things in your life that you're grateful for. It just really starts to get those wheels turning and your brain operating in that mode. And it's just amazing. I'd say for me, the most awesome thing that I was able to manifest through that workbook was a kick-ass promoter. It was something that I asked for day in and day out for months. And when she came, she was so what I had visualized that I knew with 100% of my heart that that is how I manifested her. So that's kind of my cool little story. Kelly and Amber, I know that you guys have used the book as well. And it's super, super powerful. So we can get copies out to promoters. If you guys are interested in that, just let us know. So yeah, that's just one way to practice gratitude. And again, I said in the very, very least, just maybe waking up in the morning and writing down 3 things that you're grateful for is just such a huge game changer. It's an awesome way to start your day in the morning. I think it's really important to do these like first thing in the morning, but if you can get them in at any point, that's just part of the consistency game. So whenever you're able to do it. And the next thing is the checking the Pruvit Pulse. So the Pruvit Pulse is kind of like our company hub. It's an app that you definitely want to download. You also want to make sure you have your notifications turned on. You also want to check in every day to make sure that it's uploading, because it's just such like, it can be such a bogged down app that you have to sometimes like delete it and reinstall it because there's just so much going on there. And this is something that has really been optimized over the last couple years. In the very least, it will keep you notified of when new products drop, sales, Zooms that we have, like any of the big company-wide announcements. but it also has mechanisms built into it that can really help you work your business. And we could do like a whole other training on that. But there are some, I like to think of it as like my little personal assistant, because there's like actual things that you can go in and do with that help you work your business. So that's a really important one. The team call or replay, these are things that we do every week, ideally, at least bi-weekly or monthly, whenever we can. And we also try to create replays for people. So this is a good way to invite and connect people to the conversation. It's a good way to have third-party validation, so you're not the one explaining all of the ins and outs of this to each individual person. So if you have interested people, it's a good place to invite everybody to come to. And we also post the replays in our team page, in our group, and on YouTube, so you can always find them there as well. I want to go into personal development again just a little bit, because we did talk about gratitude, but personal development is huge, and it is something that really sets Pruvit apart, I believe, from other network marketing companies. And it's like Pruvit is all about, it's in our culture, right, to be 1% better every day. And so we have a lot of our own resources. Our events especially are probably the best place to get like an energetic upgrade for your business. Think Tony Robbins, think that kind of environment plus ketones. So it's really, really, really powerful. But we also have things that we find on our own that really resonate with us. Like for me, I really like podcasts. And the reason is because I can multitask and do other things. There's this one called the Soul Wealth podcast that I really like. It's a spiritual entrepreneur podcast. I'm really spiritual. So for me, that's like my jam. I love that. There's YouTube, there's books, there's meditation, there's journaling. Journaling is a really powerful practice to do in the morning for personal development. I love doing it during the reboots, especially when I have like a lot of stuff coming up, maybe a lot of stress moving. So those are just really powerful tools. There's so much available in that arena now. And if you have like a faith, any kind of faith-based inspiration, these are all things that just help you keep perspective, and you keep accumulating these tools that basically just help you to scale your business. And we talk about those 3 pillars of belief in your industry, belief in your company, but the belief in yourself. And that's something that this personal development stuff really, really helps you to get past, because it really shines the light and shows you maybe where you're getting in your own way, or where you can step up a little bit more, even if it's just like 1% every day. So I did want to go back and touch on that, because that is huge. And like I said, we could do a whole other training on that, which I would love to do actually. So the other thing is our support products, which this is kind of the second level of our conversation, of our ketone conversation. And we have so many cool support products that truly just make the ketones work so much more efficiently, better than they already work on their own, which we know they do. So just start trying things. If you're a new promoter, just start trying things slowly. You don't have to do it all at once. Just maybe one product at a time. And what you're doing is you're think of it as like a whole system to optimize the ketones, but also to offer a way for your customers to keep optimizing. So you're going to have really long-lasting, long-term ketone customers, and they're going to come to you looking for little ways that they can start optimizing and adding things in. And if you try them one at a time and get a good idea of how they work, then of course we want to like try things before we promote them and sell them. And that our support products have just, over the last couple of years, exploded and just become absolute game changers. My favorite ones are cream. which is the powder that we put into the coffee. It's not, it doesn't have the pure therapeutic ketones in it, but it's full of functional fats, collagen, DNA repair, and basically it keeps you satiated for a couple hours in the morning, and then you take your ketones, which also then keep you satiated for a few hours. And so they work together to support intermittent fasting. And so when you use these together, it can make that a pretty easy thing to do. And it's delicious. It tastes like melted ice cream. I cook with it as well. I bake with it. It's a really good substitute, a sugar substitute, and sugar alcohol substitute. So if you don't want to use the standard erythritol or whatever, you can use this, which does have erythritol in it, but it adds those functional fats in that really help you your own ketone production. My second one, as far as supportive products go, is the Signal OS. The Signal OS capsules. They have AM and PM now. The AM has B12 in it, which acts as has like a synergistic effect with the ketones. So they work really, really effectively. And then the PM has like sleep promoting supplements in them. So those like completely changed the game for me. And then the third one is Mitoplex. This is an upgraded electrolyte that we had released about maybe a year or two ago now. And we know that electrolytes are really important while doing keto. This one specifically is unlike any other ones on the market. And I would say the biggest thing that it's done is it's made a really, really big difference with keto flu, with people experiencing symptoms of keto flu and any kind of like symptoms that you experience. It's also included in the reboot, which has like been a complete game changer for that program. So support products can be, they can be really fun to add in, to start using them in your own journey and to know how to kind of talk about them with your customers. Because if you have long-term customers, they're eventually going to be just kind of looking for, something else to add in. So Amber, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, what's cool about the first 6 boxes is that those are like self-care things, besides like checking the Pruvit pulse and like plugging into the information in whatever way that is. Like if you're doing these first 6 actions, and a lot of people do them they attempt to do them for themselves, but when you're a promoter of the product, like there's that added layer of accountability, like, oh, I need to do this, because when you do this, you're going to start seeing, like, that's what's going to create the attraction to like, oh, like she's glowing, or she's exercising, or she's eating really healthy. How does she do that? Well, it's because you're focusing, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things about promoting is our business activities are self-care. So I did just want to highlight that, because it can seem like, oh my gosh, like that's a lot to do every day, but it really isn't. It's just self-care and what everybody should attempt to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Totally, totally true. And like everything from add down, so add, engage, share, invite, follow up, these are kind of like this is like the choose your own journey part of the DMO, because there's a few different levels to this. For a lot of promoters, this is something that you kind of want to build on over time. Your progress isn't 100% linear, like I said before, and you might want to play at different levels at different times. There are a lot of people that just start out that want to hit the ground running. So this will give them all of the things, all of the action steps to do that. And for the people that are just starting out, you can start low and go slow with this stuff. I don't have this one on my screen. I only have the paper, so I'm going to hold it up. But this is what it says, is it's just kind of like choose your own epic journey with all of this. These lists are ideas to help you commit to the basic business building activities of building a successful Pruvit business. So the 3 levels are, you have the black triangle, the white triangle, and the circle. So for each of these, it'll have the black triangle options, which are to add 5 to 10 new friend requests a day. So adding people to your network, joining 5 to 10 groups a day, and introducing yourself in those groups. Don't mention ketones. So that would be a basic ad. And again, this is something that might take a little more effort in the beginning, but as you build your network, you're going to have people requesting to be your friend a lot more than you're going to have to be reaching out. But it's just a matter of going in and finding those people and adding them to your network. The white diamond, so the next level would be adding your new friends from the groups, adding people who interact on your friends pages, and following people who watch your IG stories. So that's in addition to the black triangles. So if you're at the white, you're doing the black and the white. And if you're doing the circle, you're doing all of these. So it really does give you a lot of action steps. The circle would be following hashtags, following, like, and commenting on IG profiles of people who live in the cities that you want to build in, following people who follow the same accounts that you like, so on and so forth. So that would be a lot of action steps to take in just adding, and growing your network is so the key to success at any point, at any level.
Just
that's
like
add.
Equivalent to when you get this document, we'll post it in the team page if you want to use this and create a DMO. But using that, it's like novice or hobbyist all the way to like serious professional. This is my career. This is how I'm working at. So if you're not, of course, doing all the levels, like that's okay. Like that's probably 1% of the promoters that are doing it as a career. So it's cool that you can just kind of pick and choose what works, but it gives you ideas of what to do. Like, what does that mean? So that document's really helpful.
Yeah, and I love that, if you have a day where you just want to buckle down, like you have so many action steps that you can take. So maybe normally you only hit the black triangles. I keep wanting to say black diamonds, like skiing, like black diamond skiing. But if you have a day where you just want to buckle down and you have extra time, then you have things that you can just start doing. So I love that. IG stories. This is a really big one, or Facebook stories, whichever platform you're using. Stories are a place where you can talk about ketones all day, every day. Like you're not blowing up your page with ketone things. You're kind of slipping it in every once in a while, but the stories is kind of like a free-for-all. So the black triangle would be just to do 3 stories a day, show that you drink your ketones, share a post on your story that inspires you or makes you laugh. The second level would be then to show that you drink ketones twice a day. You do 5 stories a day, 3 lifestyle, 2 ketone, and then share 2 posts on your story that inspire or make you laugh. So you're just kind of taking the numbers up a little bit. And then the top one would be 12 stories a day, 4 posts on your stories. So that's like high level. It says for IG stories inspiration, you want to showcase your personality. You want to use humor. You want to share your hobbies. So it's not just ketone, ketone, ketone. It gives you some really good ideas to follow. And actually, for posting in general, I think it's I can't remember where I saw it, but there's a calendar somewhere. Amber, do you know where it's at? It's a calendar that has like post ideas for every single day. So
yeah,
if
we can share that. It's in our group that we have with Kendra.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And that's just if you need ideas. Maybe you don't, some people have their own inspiration, and that's just, again, something that you can reference if you're looking for other things to put on there. And then share. So this is just posting, sharing content on your feed. At the least, you would be posting on like 1 post on each network a day, something you're inspired by, something that makes you laugh, story where you like really let the cat out of the bag. The second level would be using stories in addition to that. And then the highest level would be 2 posts a day on Facebook, 1 personal experience, and something inspirational. And then it has other ideas like polls and things you can do with your stories, which I really like. And then weekly, you want to invite people to these calls. So that's just another way to share the ketone conversation and get everybody in one place, which is nice if you're able to do that, which isn't always possible. And then the last thing, which is probably the most important, is following up. And this is something, honestly, that there's just such an art to it. But I remember when I first started doing this business, I heard fortune is in the follow-up. It's all in the follow-up. So it's so easy to drop the ball. At least it is for me. It takes a lot of conscious effort to remember to reach out to people and to not drop the ball. And for me, I think it's just a muscle that I've been building over time. But you really want to keep following up with people until you have, I don't want to say made the sale, but given them, like walked them through all of the information that they need to make an informed decision about the value that you have to offer them. So following up is huge, and there are so many different ways to do that. But basically, it's just you don't want to leave anyone hanging. And it can happen when you go out and make a mess. We always say just go out and make a mess. But if you have specific, like scheduled times during your week even, or your month, to follow up with people and to kind of keep a list of people that you're talking to, then I think that is a really good system to have. Do you ladies have anything that you want to share about that?
I think that's just huge because I can name like 17 different products that I want to try right now, and I like someone's approached me about them, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'm too busy and they haven't followed up. But I promise you, if they just followed up with me, I'd be like, absolutely, let's do it. I just need that nudge. So that's really important. And I think also you hit the nail on the head is that genuinely caring and like wanting to follow up, like, hey, you shared that you were really feeling stuck and wanted help. Like, is there anything I can do to support you? Can I encourage you to get started now? Can I add you to a free group? Can I help you with recipes? Independent of the ketones. And I'm really sorry, I thought I was muted, but was Jackson screaming? Could you guys hear him screaming? Oh, good. Okay.
No.
I was muted. I'll let you guys kind of finish up. I probably should have given us more time for this call. I have the other call to hop on to. But I'll let finish up, and maybe like we could each come up with a our own personal DMO, like for where we're at, or if we want to say, hey, I think I want to say like I'm going to commit to this for a week. This one, I'll print it out, but see if you guys want to like commit to something like that and have some action steps for after the call. I think that'd be awesome.
Cool. Thank you, Amber.
Love you. Thank you, girl.
Love you. So yeah, and I'll also say the last thing I want to